Hey everybody, thanks for watching Arkansas Gun Guy. And if you've watched the channel before, thank you. But you know I spent a lot of time talking about H&Ks and SIGs. I just like those guns. There's multiple variations of all of them I like. But you've also noticed that I've talked about the gun that I shoot the best of all the guns that I have. And it's one of my most inexpensive guns. And that is the IWI Jericho, chambered 9mm. This is one of the most fantastic guns I've ever had. I just pick it up and shoot it well right out of the box. Sometimes with H&Ks, it takes me a while to get used to the trigger, to sight it in, once I practice, it's fine. Same with SIGs. This guy, I pick it up, it's boringly accurate as soon as you pick it up. Just absolutely a fantastic gun and a treasure in my collection. But I know people do carry these. It's a little bit too big for me to carry, so I want to try something different to carry, very similar. And since this is a CZ75 clone, I thought maybe I'd venture out to my first CZ75, which is the CZ75D PCR, Police Czech Republic. This is the same double action, single action inverted rail system, which we'll look at in just a second. Very much a clone of the clone that I like so much. So again, I do carry this guy a lot. This guy's massively heavy, 17 rounds plus one. This guy is 15 plus one capacity. And I do carry it all the time because I'm a big fan of metal frame firearms with hammer fire. So I thought it'd be worth taking a look at them side by side because there's some really things that make this gun just more awesome the more you look at it. And there's a lot of good things about this carry gun. You know, I wish I could find one of these small enough, but again, the heft is what makes it so cool. One day I'll find a full-size CZ75 to compare this to and do a video. I'm also on the lookout for a full-sized, Desert Eagle from Magnum Research, which is very close to this. So you'll have a comparison video coming up, I hope, in the near future of those two. But for now, I want to compare my giant gun that I love so much with the small carry version that I carry a lot. So I'll flip the camera around and do a tabletop. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and help me my channel grow. And I appreciate you watching. Here's a close-up. Okay, here we go, close-up of the IWI Jericho versus the CZ75D PCR. Again, this is a little bit like apples and oranges. This is a full-size gun and this is a carry gun. But again, the point of this is I'm trying to find something I can carry that gave me the same accuracy and just enjoyment as this full-size Jericho does from IWI. And spoiler alert, I love this guy beyond words. It's a fantastic shooter. But when you look at them side by side, there's some noticeable differences, and that's what I wanted to point out. So we'll take a look at the features on the outside and kind of how they look, and then we'll look at the inside as well, and compare the triggers, which are very, very similar. First things first, just to do a safety check, we'll talk about the magazines. Again, this is a bigger gun, so it comes with 17 round standard magazine, or 17 round standard versus 15 here. So 17 plus 1 plus 15. You will note that the Jericho has got a flush fit mag that pops right out. And it is a steel mag with no witness holes on the back. And safety check. Firearm is clear. Now, the CZ75, again, smaller gun, 15 rounds, but it has a bit of an extended magazine there, just to help keep your pinky on the gun. It stays, but just in case you have larger hands, some size large gloves, that it will help with that. Again, also, so it has extended base plate, and it has metal mags as well. This one is 15 rounder with the witness holes and numbers on the back, which I really like a lot. So safety check here. All right, so they're both steel frame guns. I didn't do the measurements because they're different sizes. I thought it wouldn't matter, but they're both good, heavy, all metal guns with double action, single action actions. Double action, single action triggers. First things first, again, they both have inverted rail systems that you can watch how the slide moves inside the rail, which just reduces the mass coming backwards when you shoot, which is my favorite thing about these guns. It just helps really reduce the recoil and helps you stay on target when you're shooting. Same thing for the CZ. Again, it just rides inside the rails. So when you do fire the weapons, they're both very similar. All you have coming back at you is a small bit of steel here. Normally, like some of the SIGs, like the P320s, it's got a much higher center of gravity or bore axis that's just throwing more weight back to you that causes more muzzle flip. This really low bore axis coming straight back just helps keep the gun flat when you shoot. My favorite thing about these guns is just this inverted rail system. It's brilliant. I actually started by SIG back with the 210 series, way back before the CZ75 did. And now everybody's cloning the CZ75. So again, looking at the Jericho first, my other favorite thing is just this aggressive front end styling. You notice that the CZ75 got a flat nose, with the Jericho, it's got this aggressive scallop, aggressive angle back here. It just looks really, really menacing and tough. Does nothing for shooting, I'm sure. Reduces the size of the recoil spring maybe, but it is just a nice look on the gun. No front cocking serrations on the Jericho, but you do have a pick rail here, so you can add an accessory and just a little bit of texturing on the front in case you need that on the trigger guard. Nice oversized trigger guard, good for gloves. And it has the curved trigger just like the CZ75 does. Plastic grips, they look slick. I've read people saying they felt slick. I've shot at 250 rounds a time at the range. I've never had any issues with the gun sliding out. So on this side, you've got your slide stop, slide catch, and this is also your takedown lever. When you take this down, you have to line these two dots up like this, and then push this button to the other side, and this pops out, and you can then slide the slide off. And this gun comes with a safety, no decocker. So cocked and locked is how you carry it. There's no way to carry the one in the chamber without dangerously, putting your hammer here and pulling it down, which you never want to do. So again, slide catch or the magazine release on this side. I do not think it's reversible, but again, just a beautiful, sleek gun that it's a fantastic shooter that looks amazing. Now the CZ75, also very sleek, very minimalist. This is very basic. You got sights, no optics mount, and no pick rail underneath. I do like the styling of the dust cover, the overhang here, very much like my SIG 226. It's just a very classic looking gun. Serial here and there. But it also has the texturing on the front strap as well, or the front of the trigger guard. And again, a good size trigger guard to get in with gloved hands if you want to. These have rubber grips, which feel fantastic. Maybe they'll wear out, I'm not sure. I'm certain CZ would be happy to sell you more with their logo on there on their website. There's multiple grip options for this firearm. Again, this does have front and rear cocking serrations, where the Jericho only had front, makes it look a little more sleek up there. And on this side, you have the same takedown lever, same process, the button here. Once you line these lines up, push the button, just pops out. But again, the big difference here is this guy has a decocker, which I love. When I carry it, I can put one in the chamber by racking the slide back, and then there's no safety, you just decock it, and this will go to a half cocked position. While the hammer's not all the way down, it's still a full double action pull on the front side. So some take up and a big heavy pull. And then each subsequent shot has a really short and very tactile reset, and then a super soft pull. So again, love the reset on this guy. Great reset. And same with the Jericho. This thing is just ridiculous. Big, heavy first pull, and then the second pull, an even shorter reset maybe, and then nothing. It just pops again. So easy to shoot quickly. And I can't capture this on camera. I'll just tell you that the action when I pull this back is so slick. This gun rides so well inside the rails. It's like one of my Swiss firearms. It's just insanely well machined and feels so smooth. Again, the reset is here and there. I measure both with my Lyman trigger gauge. I don't want to do it on camera because it's super annoying to be consistent, but they both measured about 3 pounds 8 ounces, 3 pounds 12 ounces, somewhere in between with both of the pulls. So they both have the curved trigger, both have a very similar trigger pull, similar reset. So big fan of each. What I'll do now is take them both apart and show you the internals. I'll turn the camera off and do that because it's kind of clunky to take these apart, and I don't want you guys to hear me cuss when I take them apart. Then we'll look inside. Hang on. Okay, and here they are disassembled. This is the remains of the IWI Jericho, and this is the CZ75. First, we'll just move the recoil springs out of the way. Nothing to really talk about there. Guide rods are different in that the CZ75 is plastic versus the Jericho being metal. So metal guide rod versus plastic guide rod helps with the weight on the Jericho as well. Helps save weight on the CZ75. Takedown levers again. Slightly different design. This is the Jericho rather. This is the CZ75. Nothing too dramatic. Barrels, you can see the same design. Let me move these slides out of the way. Different sizes, of course, but you'll see the same locking mechanisms up top. This has got 2 versus 1 there, but again, very similar barrel locking. And again, stainless versus the blued finish. And both these have thousands of rounds through them. And this version is holding up really well. You'll see just some wear on this guy here. But again, excellent barrels. Inside the slides will look very similar. Again, this is the Jericho, this is the CZ75. Different blocks there. A few cutouts here on the CZ75. But in general, from the back, they're actually pretty close in size. It's just the length up front on the Jericho. If you look back to back, the firing pin, everything's pretty much in the same position. Just a longer slide on the Jericho. Again, both have the rails right inside the frames. But the big difference I'm going to show you is inside the frames. Again, the Jericho has just fantastic machining. Everything feels so smooth. This thing is just a massively well-engineered, well-put-together firearm. And the CZ is too, but the coating, the finish inside is different. This is all, has the same finish inside. The CZ75, and flip over to the inside, has got this kind of grade finish. It feels like it's almost not finished. And if you put the slide on the rails, let's see if I can do this with my wrong hand. I can't. Let me switch hands, sorry. It rides okay, it slides smooth enough, it's good, but you do feel a little bit of friction. When you put this Jericho on inside those rails, it's like butter. This thing just moves like, it's so smooth. So again, maybe a little more well-made than the CZ, but again, both fantastic firearms. I won't make you watch me put them back together. I just want to share my thoughts on this fantastic full-size firearm that shoots so well, and compare that to the carry version I've been able to find so far. Do you guys like the Jericho? Do you guys happen to carry it? Have you found anything that you like to carry that's very similar to the Jericho? I'd love to listen in the comments. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.